Hello and congratulations OOB Foods and Rachel. This is your new HS Excite X all-wheel drive in white, ready for you to come and collect this afternoon. What I'm going to do is take you through a few aspects of the car. So first things first, it's going to come with 2 remote controls or 2 keys. Of course you can have remote access by just pushing unlock, and of course it indicates that it's unlocked, and then when it locks the mirrors will fold in. Okay, so here it is. This is your new car. 4-door, 5-door. It's actually got a boot release as well. Let's open that up, and as you can see, the boot opens up nice and quietly, which exposes you to a whole lot of space in the back of the car. A nice little comfortable pocket here, a slider so you can cover anything that you might want to protect, and of course underneath here even more storage. And further than that, I'm going to take it even further, you're going to find a spare wheel underneath there, along with all the accessories required to change a wheel. But remember this car is going to come with a 7-year warranty and a 7-year roadside assist. All I've done is push that button. And of course the next thing you're probably going to need to know is how to operate the car. So all-wheel drive, it's going to help you out there on the road. Push button to open up the back of the car, so it's going to expose you to the fact that you're going to have to use 95 at a minimum fuel in this vehicle. Okay, let's have a look at the passenger side first. And the rear passenger sides, there's ambient lighting all through the car. It's in a blue color. You'll see that through. I really love the finish on the car. As you can see, it's got exposed stitching all the way around in red. Please accept some gifts from us here at Tristram. MG have also kindly offered you something inside there from the CEO of MG Australia New Zealand, and then of course from Tristram European you'll find some valuable accessories that help operate this car whilst you're in there. You'll see some ports down the back there for some back seat passengers. There's plenty of space in here, and then of course in the middle console we've also got a handy finish of some other areas which might come in handy again for back seat passengers. Right, let's continue on. We'll start going into the passenger side of the car. To operate or open the car, it's a proximity key, so if you've got your key in your bag or your pocket, all you do is push that button and you'll see that it's locking. And to unlock the car, push that button again and it'll unlock it, so you've got access into it. Now it's got what they call a trophy finish, hence the trophy badge. The finish on here is spectacular, so you'll start seeing that. You'll see that through the elements of the car and the design. It's very European in styling. In fact, it was a JV between Volkswagen and MG originally, or SEAT Motors, and so you'll see elements in here that may remind you, if you've had a European car, of a European car. Inside the glove box you'll find the service manual and the manual, which will come in handy for you when you require it. If you require it again, leave that in there for servicing. You've got a number of with the infotainment system up here. You've got your all-wheel drive lockup. You've got your release on this side here to release the boot, and then of course there's plenty of storage here. And if you're having a coffee in the morning and a place to store your cell phone, you can put that inside there. But I'll show you that from the driver's side just now. Okay. So as I said, 2 keys, all-wheel drive, HS. The most popular cars on the market, 7-year warranty, 7-year roadside assist. Again, I'm entering the car, so from this side the first things I see is my window controls, my mirror controls, and then of course my door lock controls. My vents, that's all set up. Handy little spot in here for say some change, your start stop button, your wipers, and then of course onto the steering wheel. You might see a big nifty little super sport mode. Yes, it is a super sport mode, and it'll get you moving along relatively quickly by pushing that button. We'll get to that in a second. Right, so the first things I'm going to do, you'll notice, is that we've got a split diagram up here inside the dash, which is going to light up Once I hit this button here, say welcome to MG, it's going to analyze everything that's going on in the car currently, including the fact that it's in park. It's only traveled a total of 126 kilometers. It's a brand new car, currently 14 degrees outside, and it's 10:38. I'll make that change because it's 2 hours behind. Right, then of course on the right hand side we've got our temperature control, our rev limiter, and all the lights that might come up in the event that something may happen to the car. You'll look out for those only when it's appropriate. Left hand side we've got our kilometers, and then of course the fuel. So all of that's right in front of you, and it keeps note of everything that's going on in the car at any one time. Steering wheel, I'll go through that in a second. Infotainment system, well, this is where all of the heart of the car is, and I think the first thing you want to do is set up your phone. So if you go into push phone, set up your phone, go into Bluetooth. Whilst we're in Bluetooth, ultimately what we want to do is find this code, so MGBT A546. That will set up your phone, and then you'll be able to Bluetooth into anything, including like your contacts. So your contacts are in here, that'll automatically sync. I've set that up for you, and then that'll keep you moving along. Now you'll look at these little toggles down the bottom here. If I push the one that looks like a house, in fact it is your home, it changes the infotainment screen. So at the very top you'll see not only the temperature, the time, you'll also see your controls for the heater, right from your auto modes through to your air conditioning, hot, cold, and of course fan speed, high and low. Below that we're going to see our car, and this is the information on the car. So by pushing this one here, what it's going to do is give us some maintenance modes, some driving assist modes, and I can put that into speed assist. We'll leave that up to you. But different modes: rear driving assist, collision modes, lane assist modes. They're all set up for you currently right now, so you can make those changes as you move along. Ambient lighting is all set up. Follow me home, find my car, that's the honking and the horn and the lights. Your high beam, auto high beam is on. So when you go into an area later on in the evening and you're driving along, when it doesn't detect anything in front of you, it will turn the high beams on, and then as it detects something, it'll drop them back to a factory setting. Okay, so again, going back to the home station here, will give us our navigation. It'll also give us our heating, and then you can go right into that and just move the heat around, up and down just on your feet, and then your fan speed. You can also make changes on the right hand side here just by toggling up and down. Pretty cool car, because as I say, you can sync that to the other side as well, or unsync it and have your own individual. And again, just moving through there, it changes everything right down to whatever your setting is. I'm going to put it into auto for now and let the car do all the work, and so you might want it at 22. By the time you get there it's 3:30, I'm sure of cooling down on the day, and then let's just put it onto this mode here. So coming out of that, and I can, as I say, I can go into the house mode or the home mode. I can go into the car mode, the fan speed, your rear demister on the for the rear window, and then of course your front demister. You've got your volume controls here, just like you have on the steering wheel. Now on the right hand side here, I've got my light controls. I've set that on auto, and then of course just below that I've got my setting controls for my cruise control, and of course setting the distances between me and the car in front. If I was to look down here, I can see a number of different things. So I've got obviously my gear shifter, my mode. Now modes are something that would come up in the event that you wanted to change it. So I'm going to put it into sport mode. Of course, sport mode comes up on, well, sport mode will come up here on the screen. I can touch it and change it if I like, and then of course put it in sport mode. Now what it does when it goes into sport mode is it activates the system to hold it in the gear longer. It'll drop it down in gear, it'll be more responsive. In normal mode, it's your normal driving conditions. You can individually change it to you, but I can't imagine you'll be putting it on a racetrack anytime soon to individually change that. Whilst we're also here, then of course you've got a descent mode here. This is for you if you just happen to be out driving, say in the grass or on a decline. You might want to put it into that, but again, that'll come entirely down to you at the moment that you're in it. And then you've got a locking four-wheel drive mode. It's in all-wheel drive all the time, so yeah, effectively you wouldn't need to use that if you don't need to. So four-wheel drive lock is on. So again, that's designed for your own safety. Now if I push this sport button over here, you'll see just up the top here we're going into super sport mode, and again slightly more aggressive as far as the driving style goes. The dial changes inside there a little bit as well. If I push it again, it goes back to sport mode, and then if I go down to my modes down here, I'm going to put it into a more normal mode. I can do that too just by toggling through normal or eco. Eco is going to be more efficient for you as you drive along anyway. Okay, so if you haven't already noticed, on the back of the steering wheel are shifters. On the right hand side is a plus, so it takes it up a gear, and on the left hand side it takes it down a gear. So that's downshifting, and the right one is upshifting for more speed. Not that I'm asking you to speed, but ultimately it just gives you some slightly better controls over the car if you are trying to use it slightly manually, for instance. Okay, so here we are right down to sort of the last end of it all. What we do here is I call this my library on the right hand side. What it does is it gives me a difference between, and as I toggle through, it gives me some elements of the car that I might find important. And in this particular case, it's the distance control between me and the car in front. And once I set that up through my cruise control, I can actually change the distance by toggling through here, and that's just going up and down and moving that back. And you can see that white line moving forth and backwards. That is in relation to the distance or car distances between you and the car in front. So if I set the car up, for instance, I'm doing 70 kilometers down the motorway and I'm approaching a car from behind and it's doing 50, the car will decelerate and keep us a safe distance apart depending on your settings. But get used to that before you go playing around too much with it, because ultimately it will come down to some of your own self-control. Right, and of course then we've got our factory set up for calling for information through to the car, and you might say, I will need an address. The other one is then your music control, volume control, mute control, your source control, that is AM, FM or Bluetooth, your phone control, and then of course rolling through the different stations. So in this case I'm turning the volume up from the steering wheel, and then if I want to change the channel, I'm toggling left or right. There you go, so you've got all of that, all at your fingertips. Alright, so then you've got Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. If you like Apple CarPlay, you're going to be using your factory setup factory cord for your phone. Plug that into there, plug it into your phone, and then you've got a handy little phone case over here. So you can operate all of your best applications or apps, and that will keep you all tidy and nicely set up. There's a nice handy little piece up here for your sunglasses, your interior lights, that's all set up too. Alright, hey listen, thanks very much for buying a car through us here at Tristram MG. I appreciate it, and I'm your fleet manager, so anything happens let me know, and if you're looking for new cars please also let me know, or your fleet company know. They'll contact me. We do have a couple of these extra floating around. Alright, look forward to seeing you this afternoon. We'll sign a little bit of paperwork and off you go. So talk to you soon. Thanks Rachel, we'll see you then.